Today is Gimel Sivan, Tovshin Samachtes, and the shir is taking place in Chelik Aleph of Hemshchaim Beis, Dibur Maschil Hamachasi Anim Rohom Ayin Daled, and Omud Tov Nun Ches. So we were holding by the Yisron in the Asogya of the Nefesh Elokisa Philo, along by the Nefesh Abamis and the Nefesh Anafilo the Guf, which comes through the Avedis of the Neshama Lamata Davke. And we saw that the Ayin of Riyah Chushias, or Asogya, first of all, Asogya Chushias, and that Hasogya Chushias is so great that it brings to a inyan which is mamish deimalaria, kilo he sees it kipshute b'chush haria hagashmiyas. And we saw some dogmois, the sanctus Chushias that's in the inyan when he looks at the whole bria and he sees that it's hoiv a nifsad, and that that something brings them into being. They don't come of their own. And therefore it must be mishaveh, and not only be mishaveh, but it must be mishaveh derech ein areich, that's the inyan from the tchuna of yesh mi ayin. All those inyanim b'derech havona v'asogya chushias, because sof kosof those are inyanim what the nefesh ativius observes them in the Elam HaGashmi, and they are misamesh mitad they misamesh etzlei mitad the experience how it is in Elam HaGashmi kipshutei, and therefore the hasogya is a hasogya which is misamesh al yedei the chushim of the guf, including in a riyah, that he actually sees these inyanim. And that we saw the beer in Mibsori Exa Elaka. Mibsori was referring, I think, to the Nefesh Abami, that Mibsori Exa Elaka, the Zazah Hasoge, which is so close and shayach to the Nefesh Ativius and the Guf, that it's possible for the Nefesh Habahamias to be makir as boiroi in the inyan, particularly v'savas yesh mi ayin bo'oid in yonim, and that can be in a over from echze, or that's a lashon targum for the inyan of riyah. So therefore we saw that it's not mamish riyah chushiyas, but we saw that it's a hasogya chushiyas. It's a hasogya which comes through the inyan of inyanim which are nitan l'riyah alidei the chushim, and that leads to a hasogya which is korev l'riyah in its own right, and therefore uses the expression echze elakar sheheina en roya mamishes amahus terkus. If I remember nimta, the whole reason why it's not called riyah in elakus mamish is because it's only a hasogya, and that hasogya is bikar, like we saw throughout the whole piece, because hasogyas amatzias are dying. I mean, all of those arguments and all those inyanim which are backed by the chushim don't tell him about mahus elakus, they only show him the inyan of matzias elakus. But we got an interesting combination that in matzias he has hasogya chushias in the inyan of matzias. And Mamela, that's the inyan of echzeh, which is shaykh in the Nefesh Apam, yes, that it's not a inyan from Riyas HaMahus, it's only a inyan from Riyah Chushias in inyanim which strengthen the Hasogas HaMatziyas. And they bring to a vados and a reaction to the inyanim of Diyas HaMatziyas, Ki'ilu he would have seen. In other words, that the Pu'ula, Benafshe HaBahamis is al derech v'di inyan from Riyah. Therefore, he said it's not mamish riyah, it's only the in van hasoga b'yediyas hametzias, but it's a hasoga chushias mamish kilu rebe eino. Therefore, it's not just stam hasogas hametzias, it's hasogas hametzias, to use the expression of a gohebna oifen, that it comes close to the inyan from riyah, chushias, through the inyan of the experience of the chushim in the factors which lead him to the maskonas in hasoga, albeit hasogas hametzias. And so we saw that the nefesh habahamis can then come alidei what is mazachik the nefesh habahamis. Therefore, he can come to a hasoga elokis ki'ilu in the nefesh habahamis. And that's basically what we were beholding. And we saw that that's the inyan of the Yuridus and Neshama Lamata. The Neshama Elokis comes Lamata, as is well on the famous Loshen in Tanya. She doesn't come down, L'tzerech Atzmo, Ein Tzerech Birur, Ein Tzerech Aliyah Mitzadetzem Atzmusa. Or she comes down, Be'ike for the Aveda with the Nefesh HaBahamiyas, and now the Rebbe says, what is that inyan? B'shvil ma, the Neshama Elokis, how would we define and sum up in a few words the whole shlichus of the Nefesh Elokis? Lamata ato horeisa lodas, that you referring to the MCU of the mensch, not referring here to Elokus. Ato meaning the Nefesh Elokis. Your inyan was to show the inyan of das to the Nefesh HaBahamiyas. These galas anishama lamata who horeisa, you came down to show and illustrate. La'eina bosa hagufani ek shavaya elokim va'eina bosar hagufani. That means the real kushes, but they can be in these inyonim, even though it's not real mahus of its real kushes in these inyonim asogas ametzias. And that's why the Nefesh HaBahamis came down, that's why Nefesh Elokis came down into the body, laharis, to show and to indicate. It's an amazing touch. Ator, meaning you, your MCU, you're there, kidei laharis or ladas, ki avayahu eli, kim, and who is that? To the bosa hagufni. He came to show it to the Nefesh HaBahamis and how he shied to the bosa hagufni. V'gam lodas, the Rebbe Loshen Shvira, as is well known, put down in many Drushim, and so this, Okamei vayoidu bahem anshei sukkes, that's written there by the Dean from the Piglegish Pegivo in Sefer Sheitim there. Vayoidu bahem is a Loshen breaking, they broke them apart, or attacked them heavily, or Nochazal Chinyonim. Ayoidu bahem anshei sukkes, Shalidei zeh nase hashvira dechumius hanefesh habahamis. Ato horeisa lodas, that your tafkid as a nefesh elokis is to come into the body laharis, to show her and illustrate to her, or that inyan akiavaya hu elokim, and that brings lodas, or that brings to a shvira, not in the nefesh habahamis, because that's not the kavanah. Stam avec pater in the Nefesh HaBahamis, that's not the kavanah. Ella, to break the chumnias of the Nefesh HaBahamis, al deravidinim, from breaking the how do you call it, the nut, the eggs, when you break the skin or the outer shell, then it's the pre-hoamiti. So there has to be the breakage of the dvarim hamoinim in the Nefesh HaBahamis. Or not cholila, the etzem breaking of the Nefesh HaBahamis, so say. Amamela ato horeisa alidei those inyonim lo das, not only lo das ben loshen gilui pnimi or pnimis asoger, but also breakage of the manias mitzad the Nefesh HaBahamiyas. The kasha etzloi mishamid inyan esav sheish mi'ayin v'achtus Hashem, but that's ki havaya hu elokim. V'chein kol inyone eloki, Bechinas Riyah Chushiyas, when he sees the mummy, with his inyonim from Riyah, Arihu Mipatel Be'etzema, that causes the Nefesh HaBahamiyas to be broken Be'etzema Mahusay. And when we say Mizbatel, we don't mean broken, that's really not the right translation. But he's broken in the sense that he becomes Botel. And once he becomes Botel, then he can turn all of his koiches into the Kivanu Amidin, as brought down in Pasha Kuchas. When I get to the Sreifas Hapora, that the whole idea is to get to the Pshitas of what we call the Koich HaMisave, or Koich HaMisave in Ma'utalev, to the Koich HaMisave. Once you reach the Pshitas, and you take away all the Begodim Tzoyim and all the Levushim, Aloi Toivim, Aloi Nakim from the Koich HaMisave, but then you get to a Pshitas, and it's possible to turn all those inyonim in the Nefesh HaBahamis L'Toi. Amamir Alidei, what you misbatel be'etzem Mahusay, meaning that he loses all the Mashiach and the Levushim Zaina in volume of Chumias Eilam Hazeh, o kemoi ha'egoi sheshoivim ha'klipa mizkala ha'pri, when you break the klippa, arum, the egois, then you have the etzem pri, which is the egois betoichoi. Kemoi kein alidei shviras ha'nefesh ha'bamiyas mizkala ha'pri. When we say that shvira means the union of bittul, causing a bittul and a complete shinui, kivun, as you might say, that he goes dapkeli inyonim matevim, so that's the nefesh elokis, beprinus riyas hamahus mamish. Well, we see a repetition of what he said earlier, that the yisur that comes to the nefesh elokis through bringing a fila to the nefesh habamis, the union of riyah chushis in a sogas hamatzias al choponim, not emes a riyah mamish, but al choponim riyah chushis in hasogas hamatzias. Ali deseh, you kilu take away the whole hell of Esther, lagabi the nefesh elokis of the nefesh habamis. He's no longer ma'ili mumaster. Go with his levushim tzoyim. Wherever it's possible for the nefesh elokis to see Elokus mamish, how she's met to see Elokus better in Yonah, and like she saw Lamayla Elokus, well, that's even from Riyas Amahus Mami. So at the day what we take away that klippas egois, then it becomes miskala and misamet in the misames in the nefesh elokis are the inyan from Riyah Chushias Mamish. In other words, in the inyan of Riyas Amah, Arikoze Urach Asoga Levad. The Ainu Asoga Muchishis Be'inyan Eloki. Avaloi B'chinas Riyah Mamish Be'etzem Elokus. Validei Zeh Nasa B'neshama B'chinas Riyah Mamish B'mahus Elokus. In other words, all of we've been talking up to now, Ta'ar Eisel Adas, and Del Inyonim, in the Nefesh HaBahamis and the Aliyah and Shvira V'chulei, the Nefesh HaBahamis, all of that is Riyah Chushias in Asogas HaMetzias. And it's not Riyah Mamish in a course, it's Riyah Chushias in Asoga, which is Sochos of Asogas HaMetzias. However, they say that takes away the helim of Nefesh HaBahamis, and then it's Mishkala, the Etzem Aveda, the Nefesh elokis mitzad atzmo, and then she's able to see Mamish, Riyas Hamahus in Elokus, or that's in Yonah, and that's how we does. Omnom, he says, Gamba Neshama, Yeh Alidei Zeh Yisron Godel Gabi Kamosh Ois of Ganei. So you might say, well, you know, Chozano, you know, she had Riyas Hamahus in Gan Eden, comes all the way down, becomes Ato Horeis Olodah, she comes to show the Nefesh HaBahamis, and as they say, Matet Chlop, a good long stickel arbeit, and then all of a sudden the Nefesh elokis goes back to how she was before she sees the infant Riyas Hamahus, or that she had Belavach in Gan Eden. So there was we can't say that it would be just going back on a chazor to the same Riyas Hamahus. Ela omnom means a from amitias adot be'emes lamitay. Gam neshama yeh alidei se yisron godel gabi kemosh shoyes began Eden shoye bo gam kein Riyas Hamahus. Harizeh mikol mokim rak b'chinas ha'ora li livod. It's only in from ha'ora me'elokut. And like it's brought down that in Gan Eden it's a ziv from the inyan from Elikus and a ziv and a horrible bad from Malchus to Atzilas, and so the mahus is in the mahus ziv. And so in that gufa we said it is from Bina Ekshu Malchus, and that Bina is already shattered in from Gimel Rushainais, Kesef Chochma Bina or Chochma Bina Das. That's the Madrege which is Mishkala in Gan Eden. So we could say that the Avriyas Amahus is Ayin from Ziv, or it's a Ziv from Gimel Rushainais. It's quite a high Madrege in the inyan of the Hasogas Haziv, Mahus Haziv. It's only a Haziv, but in that Kufa, Ayin from Mahus, he said, the Gam Gimel Rishainais, Ein Bechinas Atzmas Eirein, even that high Madrege of her Soge, how it is in Gan Eden, can't be compared to the inyan of Atzmias Eirein, save him. So, Kanoida, it's only a Ziv Bilvad. Validei Yiridos Alamata, Shepoeles Laharuis, to show and to indicate La Nefesh Abamius Lahakir as Boiro, Ali Deize Vanishom, Uprinas Rias Amahus, Beprinas Mahuse Vatsmus, or Mahuse Atzmus, Ein Sei, Vahinu Beprinas Pnimius Chokmus Timoa, Shazeh Pnimius Ati, Pilipla. The Neshama had Rias Amahus in Gan Eden, only in Amahus of a Ziv at the Gimel Rishamas, they Shahem Meirim Alidei Malchus, and in that Gufa, only a Ziv is Nimshach Alidei Chitanius Amalchus into Gan Eden. And remember that's a Inifan Hasovas Mahus, but only Mahus a Ziv, Inifan Rias Amahus. He said down here, the Neshama Alidei, when she gets rid of that clipper, the Nefesh Abami is, and he's no longer Mavalbun, on the contrary, he's also Nimshach, Inyonim Tevim, Inyon Elikus, then she comes to her infant Rias and Mahus, in Mahus, V'atzm saying to, what does it mean from Pnimius Atik? Well, that's already the inyan from Ayin Liosid, because it's brought down the Kisvi Arizal. The Arizal says that the Asoga Liosid will be in Pnimius Atik. So that's how they say that's not bad. That's not bad going for her to reach as our inyan in the inyan from Asoga. So the Rebbe said, "V'u shapele," or that's what we were learning before in the inyan from Oisefele, or that's the inyan shapele nasa elef. We brought down from the Zohar Kodesh. He learns that in the pele, a pele becomes aleph. Aleph in the inyan from Limud. In other words, that the inyan from Pele itself reveals itself in the form of a Gilui, in the form of a Soga. That's inyan from Limud. Yeah, Avaloi Bechinas Limud the Asoga, Keim Bechinas Rias Amahus. They said not just Amasoga, but inyan from Rias Amahus. In other words, it's like we've been learning the whole time here, that in the inyan of Chochmas Timoa, being as he is a Atzmi, therefore he's just like Shnei Ponim Shaloise Amahus. And we saw that the Tzir of Chochmas Timoa is not even from Levush Amalim. But this that he's a Azam in Atzmi, what he's Ki'ilu brings the inyan from the Pnimius Atik into his Tzir that he's able to, as it were, be Nimshach Lamata Beli Shakol Yiz Batal Mamish. Over once you work with that tzir and you get to the pnimius and the amitias of that tzir, then you get the whole inyan Kamosha, who, and like we saw a few of it, the inyan from the Golas, also that's the inyan from the Hester that there isn't that tzir. Yeah, what the inyan from Chochmah we saw can be milim on that tzir, and that's not an inyan from Levush Amalim, no, that's the inyan that hides itself within the tzir of Chochmah. But really it's there. And all you got to do is find a way to reveal it. And he said that's the inyan of working with the Levush al pi pnimis haTorah, like we saw about Arichas Inyan. So he says the same thing, that since the inyan the pnimis atik is really nase aleph, it's really nase itself, through the inyan at the pele that it's kilo lamayla me sogas anivroim k'moishahu. Over alidei, what the pele becomes a inyan from aleph, a inyan from limud, or then a child that the inyan from the asoga can be riyasama who's in the inyan from pnimis atik mamish, and that happens in the neshama affiliates. אפילו לפני ליוסי לובי. So kommt es agora a Peladigamma. You can't say that a Yid can be walking around, he can have mamish, had a coat, Ria, Karav Luria Hushias, mamish in Elikut. So that's what we brought in the last year, but the Alter brings it in Lakotei Torah. He brings over there the story with the Arizal and Pasha Bolot Bilom on the Shabbos afternoon that the Arizal saw. He said to him, Aishi. Torik Ladaber, Bemershur Isi Akshav, Isi Torik Ladaber, Shmoinim, Samach, or Pei Shona, and even then he wouldn't be able to get over what he saw right now. So the altar of his mother, why would it take him Samach or Pei Shona? It's the Chamayontik. It's a ganze lifetime for him. It's halt behind Raiden, what er nicht kennen. So the altar is going to from Ria, it's in from Ria, Mamish. There's a reason Mahut. The Rebbe says in the famous Sikha, the Rebbe Nachman Shopesa, which year was the Rebbe said, although it wasn't Mamish real Chushi Kipshuta in Mahut. It was still in Ayin that he said, if I would try and talk, I would tell you, in other words, still in Ayin for Ruchnius, Rias Ayin Haseichel Beis, you even, what Mamish. So that's what the Neshama can have now. And it's still in from Riyas Amuz, but not Legamre. Yossi, it's going to be Mamish Riyah Chushiyas Kipshutei. He said, Vezo Sheli Yamois HaMashiach. Once it will be discussed at the Melech HaMashiach, Lo Yilamdu Ish Esrei Ehu. It won't be necessary for one man to teach her. Anadye Kizeh Shayeh Bechinas HaSogas HaMatziyah. When you're just learning about Inyonim, the Misha Yesa Malumad, he teaches the one who's less Malumad. Over where everybody will see Avo Bariyas HaMahus and Riyah Chushiyah in the Mahus Mamish, Einu Shayach Limud, K'moish Kosev Makim, Acher, because everybody will see it, Mamish, Bariyah, Behadikot, Einei, Bosa, Kipshuta. And if I won't be shy of teaching anybody anything. So ye are limud the Moshiach sheyare b'chidus mahusa adov. So it's not that Moshiach will teach you hasogas and he'll be mafli and hasogas and all. So we'll see at the end. Maybe that's not the end of hasoga altogether. Avol chaponim b'shlav mesuyim or b'oifim mesuyim, it won't be necessary the infant hasoga the way we know what hasoga is. Because he will show you in an even from Riyah, and his in will be just to point out to the whole cloud, the even from Riyah, everybody will know, and it won't be shaykh anymore. Lo yiramdu ish esreyehu. So you might say at the Chivzai, everybody just walk around, everybody would just be Einoch Hanami. And so Einoch Hanami, as they would talk it Zion. But let's run on the famous Indian and the famous Diuk. In Kamayim Layam Chasim, the Rambam's Messiah, the whole Mishnah Torah with the Mola Horas Deya, Kamayim Layam Chasim. The water doesn't cover the sea with the same depth. Bekolam Makaimes. Well, there's a secret that the Mayim covers everybody. That everybody will be bottled and everybody will have all the milas that will be there. But some will have it more and some will have it, even from less. Because it'll be dependent a little bit on what you heard of it and what you ufkit on, and as far as gulas and as far as if you work for yourself, bezeha oilam and bezeha tkufa bezeha ayin and v'chuli. In Mamela there'll be people that they got as our rear that they'll be still able to say, listen, you have to come in on my online or whatever it is. You got to get on my particular gal or whatever, and you'll see Nochazal Chinyonim that you haven't seen the cloud yet. It's like you go into these big aquariums, first we see little things, and then you can see later, you can cook around and they're going to depths and they're going to there will be, but it won't be an oven from limud, it won't be an oven, this will be an oven from Gilui, a re'iyah, even Naila b'yesa Aber mamish inyan from limud be nogel inyan zeh, there won't be. Well, we're going to see at the end. Efshe, there'll still be Efsar limud, but even mufla be b'ma'id me, b'ma'id ma'id. Al upon him, it's at that oiven, however, either it'll be a inyan from Riyah b'mahus adova mamish Riyah chushiyas b'mahus, and that the neshama will have an aliyah gedola compared to how she was in Gan Ayin, because in Gan Ayin it was only in mahus aziv, it was albeit gimel rishenis, but only aziv and the gimel rishenis, and here it'll be mamish achmiyas ain't safe mamish, because the tziyur ha-magbil of chok mishtimah will be mishtana be'etzim inyan, and there'll be mishkala pnimis atik, and pnimis atik will be the beginning, as I said, and that'll be the start, and also it will only again Michael El Choyo, praise Hashem. So he says, "V'zeh mashu chofes b'zoy haki ashisa elef shepele nasa elef."
Torah Chadash miti teitze.
For the Chavyed?
Torah Chadash miti teitze.
Yeah, Torah Chadash.
It's going to be just Riyah.
Yeah. Over in that gufa, it'll be Riyah mamish, Riyah samahus. Keep sure, Riyah samahus ayinayim agash. And that's what I'm saying, that there'll be people that have got bigger periscopes, bigger inyanim, and you'll still need to be mekabel from them. But not particularly limud in the normal. So we're going to see at the end there'll be another type of limud. It's called under zach, and that we'll have to have a little bit of patience to wait after Chag Matan Torah Seinu, and like not Chag Matan Torah Seinu when we're going to hold by this Indian, and we have to hope that we'll be holding by it even before. We have to hope that we'll be holding by it long. וזהו מה שכוסו בזויה כעסיס הפלא, he says אלף, כעסיס אלף, סליחה, כעסיס א', שפלא נעשה א', the Pasuk says שעסיס הפלא, אבל זה עתה שעסיס א', that the פלא נעשה א', והעניין דהינה הנשמה היא מפנימס הכלים, not just from חיתוניס הכלים like the Malachim, like the other Nevi'im, no, she's from Pnimius HaKeilim, in other words, from how the Keilim are mamish miyuchad with Elakus, the Tachlis, the Alkein he Elakus be etem, even how she's yered la take biyah. Hasagosa la maila, hu mahusela. But even though when she comes down lamata, it changes, but not the etem pnimis, but the nefesh Elokisa aveda. V'lochin makoyim began Ayin b'chinas atzilas. In other words, it's not atzilas mamish, that atzilas that's meya in biyah. V'yod lamata lahares la nefesh habami, is the whole name was to show and to be married to the nefesh habami is gilui erein say. V'hu bisavas hayesh me'ayin eloki shemusa gam b'nefesh habami so b'soga muchshias, because he sees that. V'chein b'kol hasoga elokis mimoshel gashmi shebe'em Samoshu who hanimshal. Like we were masbir that normally when a mensch talks a moshel with a nimshul, then the gabi him and the mekabel, the moshel is a dover zah, and the nimshul is another inyan, right? The two separate inyanim, and tzrichim siyata dishmaya to come from the dover zah to the dover amiti. Oh, but in the bria, everything saves all the inyanim is doch the eivs allein. And you taking a moshel, you have easy inyan in oilam afilo, or afilo easy inyan by staushus or begilei elakus as a moshel of another inyan in elakus be'emes in madregas nailes, then it's all one and the same thing. I mean, the moshel is also elakus picture vida nimshal. And therefore, when you see in Gashmi a certain inyonim and you use them as a moshel, you're really seeing elakus even in the moshel. And therefore, the moshel helps you and assists you to go into Riyah Amiti is Chushiyas, even though it's not Riyah Samahus. Zeo mipsori dahainu hagashmi. And like he teaches, Echse elaka benefesh ha'pamiyas. Who begins Soga Chushia? So here he teaches the Psori means the Etzem Elam Agashmi, the Moshel, Etzem Elam Agashmi. And Exa Elakara, we saw, is referring to the Nefesh HaBa'amiyas, and that's by him, Asogas HaMetzias, but in the Chushim, Hagashmi, even into the Chush Ariyah. Over Neshama, it comes into Ayin from Riyas HaMavuz. Zeo Horeis Oladas, Loshen Shvira, the Nefesh HaBa'amis, Shalidei Zeh, Shvira, the Nefesh HaBa'amis, Slicha, Shalidei Zeh, Mishgal Riyas HaMavuz, the Neshama, over Yesa, Mikamoisha Hibagan, Aiden, Zeo Riyas Mahus Elakus, Mamish, Mahus Eveat, Atzmus, many mahus, not just the mahus of whatever you're looking at, but Riyas HaMahus, Mamishim Mahus Elakus Kum. So the Rebbe says, V'zehu ki ayin ba'ayin yiru. Yeah, what is the famous lesson in Yeshaya Novi? Ki ayin ba'ayin yiru, b'shuv Hashem tzion. The way Abish will come back to tzion, and ayin ba'ayin yiru. So most of them are forcing one over there that ayin ba'ayin is an expression. In Lashon Kodesh, meaning verily everybody will see. You know, ayin ba'ayin means each ayin will look at the other ayin, every ayin will help the other ayin, and everybody will see. It'll be in Klali Adini from Riyah. In other words, a way of talking, ayin ba'ayin. Like we say in Pasha Baloiska, next, not this Pasha, but the one after, state ayin ba'ayin ro'eh es anan cholen. We state in the midbar that anan cho ayin ba'ayin yirev anan cho asher aleinu mashu kazeh. So pasuk baloiska. So once again we see ayin ba'ayin yirev. Well, that's even verily sing, you know, for hadgoshat in Ariyah. However, in many Jewish chassidus we teach it as ayin ba'ayin yiru. It means like two madregas in re'iyah. The one inyan in re'iyah will be mishtalev and misachid with another inyan. One inyan will be oila into another inyan and be moisif into that other inyan. So that's what he says. Ki ayin ba'ayin yiru Beis einayim halolu. I'm sorry. Yeah. So he says it. Beis einayim halolu. So which are they? What are they? The two that we've spoken about. The Riyah and the Chushiyas in Asogas HaMetzias, and later the Riyah Mahusa, the Nefesh Elokis, the Liosid Lover, they're all going to come together. Ha'alef, yeah, ayin de makse haguf. Because we saw it's only echazeh. It's not mamish etzem hariyah in Mahus Elakus. It's makse haguf and nefesh HaBa'amiyas b'izbonines ais havas yesh mi'ayinu kahai gavna b'finas hasoga Metzias, meaning hasogas Metzias chushim. Canal. Ayin HaBeis hu ayin Riyas HaNeshama, meaning Nefesh Elokis, because Riyas HaMahus, Mahus ve'atzmas ein sei porach, like we saw in Pnimis Atik, v'afil lo ma'ilo mizeh. Anamil, come to us that the two einayim are going to sort of link one into the other. The ayin, which is the makse ato reisel adas, exa elakah, or that will give rise to and assist, and will even become mitachid and batil. Yosid with the union of the Riyas HaMahus of the Nefesh Elokis, and they'll all see, Yemot Kumtais, that even in the Nefesh HaBa'amiyas and the Guf, there'll also be that Riyas HaMahus mamish of the Nefesh Elokis. Shalidei ha'ayin the Nefesh HaBa'amiyas, Shalidei zeh upkinas ha'ayin v'ariyah the Nefesh Elokis, like we just learned, that by breaking the egos, the clipper of the ego, then you get to the emes of Riyah. Sure? That's how it is, Le'esato. However, V'yesh lema de liyosid, meaning, B'yomeso Mashiach, yeh beguf, b'pinas Riyas HaMahus. As he said, liyosid, it's going to be mamish in the guf. In other words, Riyah Chushiyas mamish in the guf Agashmi, it's going to be the inner for Riyas HaMahus. Uki yadua sheli osid, yeh aguf, B'chinas oirein seif aseive, v'anishoma tekabel mi'agu. Im kein, צריך לומר שגם בגוף יהיה בחינת ריאס המהות. So we need to understand who's you to it. So we have to say that it means like yesh beklal mosai mona. Let's say that if we're going to say that liosid the ikar gilui of atzmus elikus sevu kol, it's going to be in the guf. Kidu mafursa. Behave inyanim. And the neshama is going to be mekabel from the guf, meaning the neshama b'shleimusa, in the highest avodas that the neshama can have, else and nefesh, she's going to be mekabel from the guf. If we're going to say that the guf, if we're going to say that the neshama has now riyas hamahus, mamish riyas hamahus in mahus elikus and mahus evatzmosei, then bevadei the guf, being as he is, liazit save of kalalmin, that this is bevadai moving that he will have as amitzot riya mitzad atzmai. In other words, if we're going to say that the neshama has now alidei the shvira yoidu ben anshi suchet, alidei the shvira nefesh apam, the neshama has a riya mahusi and a riya mahus in mahus elikus riya mam. Halachas come with something which is going to be a mashpia to the neshama. And why is he going to be a mashpia? Because he's going to be mamish etzem elikus. He's going to be the giver, save of kol almin. Then he will experience etzem elikus, just like etzem elikus itself will be able to experience etzem elikus. In other words, that if the neshama li'eisata can have it, then if the neshama is going to be mekabel from the union of sevu, then moving upashtas that the guf atzmei is going to have a union for riya ba'even naila b'yesa. That's the union bedova. Was lefiza kumtais that liasid the guf and atzmei saying safe. So we're going to just how they could observe one day other, just like the Ayin Hagashmi is Roya Saguf. Just like the Ayin Hagashmi sees a Dova Koravilov and a Dova which is Oisa Mahus, and he sees it B'derech Mamela Umaelo B'likol Ishtadlus V'chulu. But the way it is now, the neshama elokis has got to have a stadlus. She's got to be eiler, me golas, and then she sees, and she has all the days shviras on nefesh apam is fuchul. Over the yosid, if she's anyway the guf, if balavo are going to be the inif from seive, what's the inif from mahus elikus balavochi, then her riya in mahus elikus is going to be being an oven from kiruv, and l'chora be'oven mamela ume. Just like our Riya Gashmi sees a Dova Gashmi Veliko Ishtadlus B'Vederach Ma'elo Me. So that's what Rebbe means. If we part of the guf will be in our even from here ain't safe. And Neshama Tikabo, im kein Zorg Leben, Shekama guf, Yev Chinas Riya Samahus. And not just Gamma guf, no, she will be in even Riya Samahus. What's the Gam? The Gam is that up till now the only thing that's ever got that far is the Neshama Elokis. And here we're going to have the guf, where the guf is so far, Yishabas from the Eivishter, and there's going to be a Riya in Elokus, Mitzat Seive, as moving, Kamash is a Naila Be'etzem Minyonim. Yesh Loim Al Pi Mashkos Mochim Acher, the Riya Chushi is, Arizela Maila Me Riya Sa, since we say that the Neshama had the Inifan Riya Sa, Naseichol in the Inifan Mahus Elokus, and the rest of and that's what we saw the mice from the Arizal V'chulu, over the type of Riya that she's going to have Liosid, that she's going to be Mekabel from the Guf, then that's Lamaila Habe from the Indian from Riya Saseichol. And Riya Chushi is Shayacha Ba'guf and Nefesh Apami is Davke. And Nefesh Elokis Tekabel Riya Zu, Mia Nefesh Apami is. Le'achas Mizbarer U'Mizdacher Al Yedei Nefesh Elokis, he is Bo'asover Muchshis Anal. However, that it's a how do you call it, a fascinating inyan that all the milas of the Nefesh Elokis with her Riyas HaMahus, and even the Riyas HaMahus that she gets through the Shviras HaKlippa of the Nefesh HaPamiyas, all of that is not mamish Riyah Chushiyas mamish in Mahus Alakus. No, this is Riyah via Shaykh in Gan Eden, via Shaykh Mitzad Neshama, as she is a Mahus Eloki, of a Sokos of a Mahus Eloki, which is more than we Gufnias. No, her Inyan is what you might call Ruchnias or Elokis. Elokis are the Zinayin from Ruchnias, or not in here from Mukshias Gufnias. And the Chiddush which occurs, even now, of it's going to be Liosid, when she'll be Mekabel from the Guf, and she will have, Mamish Riyah Chushiyas, what's moving at this Lamailami, Riyas Ayin HaSeichel. And so, why is that higher than Riyas? Riyas Ayin HaSeichel. Seichel is Ayin and Ruchni, Mudumi. It's a little bit like the Rambam before his final Maskana, what the Rebbe says in one of the Igros in the Gerastayman, so then he's not more to say that the infant Chis HaMesim will be Dafki Dislapsis, other than Neshama in Gufis Leosid over in the Pirush HaMishnayos over there in Sanhedrin. In Perichel, the Rambam writes that the Ike Gilei of Tchias HaMesim will be the Neshama, not in the Inyan of the Guf. And he says, Ki Lama Levalbo es a Neshama, B'Kishoyei HaGuf. Why soll man Levalbo sein the Neshama mit the Kishoyei HaGuf? Aber that's the Pshat. Wie Paul is Riyas Ayin HaSeichel, is a gewaltige Sache, it's a Rufnisdike Inyan. L'chera, I would have thought that that's got milas over Richushis. Because Richushis Sokosov is Aridei HaGuf, and Sokosov was it there? It wasn't a Guf. The Rebbe is saying that there's a mile in Riyah Chushiyas, but Frata it's going to be Leozid over the Riyah Zaina HaSeichel. And where Wujid is, that we see that it's the old saying that you can think a heck of a lot Davki, that's the way you are Lepoyel. In other words, you can be go Gehoibn and go Hoich, or when it comes to the Inyonim of the world, and the Guf Adayin Ataver, Kitzat Bihis, Bislabtus, Eichomim, Todlo, Halakta, Kola Everything that you see Maria's Chushiyas, and you see the Mahusa in Maria Chushiyas, then you say, wake up out, I saw it with my own eyes, that makes a spur of the man that he can't. Eichomim, Lishtachrem is it boils on him, the Etim Mahusim. I say again, Rias Ein HaSeichel, Im Kol HaMailas Yesh B'zeh. That Rias Ein HaSeichel can travel more and be not so movable to the Rambam. Over Sokosov, the Inyan of Poel of the Mensch, be Etim in Yonei, that's it, Inyan from Riyah Chushiyah. So Liosid, the hint here is that that's why Liosid, the Riyah is going to be an Azag even, because it's going to have 2 miles. It's going to be Riyah Chushiyah, so Mamel will have all the easy access to the Guf, or it will be coming from, so you have Kalam, it will be coming from Gora, or even the Madrega, and Mamel will have all the miles of Etim. Ha'Ru'iyah and the Pura from Etim Riyah Chushiyah in a door which Riyah Zayin HaSeichel would never be able to reach below, even Mahusi. Okay, you do that. Seive was always moved out Lagami from Hasoke. That's what he means by saying that the Riyah Mukha, Riyah Chushiyas is Lamaila for Riyah Zayin HaSeichel. That's the Chiddush below. Riyah Chushiyas Shayah B'Aguf and Efshah Pam is Tafke. And the Chiddush is that these Inyonim will be Mischadish in the Guf and the Efshah Pam is, and the Neshama, if I remember, nimtza what we said before, that the Neshama can be Mekabel from the Shviras and Nefesh HaPamiyas, Toisefes Ilui, in her Riyah Chushiyas, but that's already Le'eis Ato, Afilu, Polishi Eliosid. Over Eliosid Vibal, and the whole Indian is going to be, even Naila, Harvey, in the Etzem object of the Riyah. The Etzem object of the Riyah is going to be Balavo Hisaver, and that's going to be Misatzim with the Gufari, the Riyah Chushiyas. I am what states how much the Riyah Zayin HaSeichel is going to be Mekabel from the Riyah, and that'll be the the Iker Hakol. And the first said the Rebbe, those said the Inyan, where here Chushia, Shaka Baguf, and Nefesh Abamis Davke, and Nefesh Elchis Tekabel, Riazu, Mi and Nefesh Abamis, Lefesh Tisbarav Mistachik, Alida and Nefesh Elchis, Lia is Boasoga Mushis Canal. That's even now. The Cholzer, who are the beginners Chokmas, Timoa, she begins Chokma via the Omikomokim, he begins Atzmas Ein Sei. The Hainu begins Pnimius Ati. And when we said, what gives us, what feeds us all these in your name is Chokmas Timoa. In other words, that Chokmas Timoa, Pnimis Abu, Pnimis Ati, we touched earlier, is Chokmas Timoa, is really Pnimis Ati. Over there, we saw the Chokma is a Helem, not a Helem, even of Alavusha Mali, but Helem Atmi, mitzad the Tzir of Chokma, that's Kilo Matfis, the Yonim, a gewisse Tzir, and therefore we don't see the Pshitas. And we're not massing, or we're not aware of the Pshitas of the Inyan from Atik, over Alidei, the Inyan of the Aveda of the Nefesh Abamis, or Alidei, what the Nefesh Elchis shows the Nefesh Abamis, over the Inyanim, or then the Nefesh Abamis is oile into that Inyan, what she is, literally she sees through that Shia, and she's Makabel from the Inyan from Pnimius Atik, and Mamela, that's going to be poorly, also particularly into the Nefesh Elchis, Ayin from Ria, or Yoter Naila, what that's Ria Kushi in Etzem Atzeive Mam. That's the state of how it goes. Or Ria Kushi Shara Baguf and Nefesh Abamis, and Nefesh Elchis Tekabel Ria Zum, and Nefesh Abam, Leachim is Dachek, Validei HaNefesh Elchis, Lied Vasoga Muxis Canal, because who Alidei Prince Chokmas Timoa, Shub Prince Chokma Via, dear, the Tzir which comes to Gabeno is Chokma Via, dear. Or we call Mochim Prince Atzmas Ein Sei, the Hainu, the Pnimis, behind the Tzir of Chokma, the Hainu Prince Pnimius Atik, or Yeshehi Prince Kisui Shabbat. He begins Kisui Shabbat. Begins Atik Misalem. And since there's a Kisui, but that's the Indian from Chokma V'Yedir, the Indian from Chokma Stimah, therefore the Indian of Atik is Behelem, not in a Lavusha Malim. But you just don't see it. He begins Helem Atzmi, I don't begins Sosum Bi Etzem. But when we say Sosum Bi Etzem, we mean that the Etzem is Sosum. But Dafki, because the Etzem is Sosum, Alidei that Tzir, then it's possible that Miyad, Alidei, what we're married, that Tzir, that, how do you call it, or that becomes Mispatel, or then you Makabel, the Sosum Bi Etzem, Begoloi Mamish. Okay, Mizehu, Dafki, Prinus Ahelem, Shalamata. The Miatik Atzmei, Liya, Sha'ena, Prinus Helem, Kolkach, Commission is Borim here. He actually is Bechin Selim Kazel. That's what we had earlier, just a few chapters ago. And it was also mentioned in Kuf Tzadik Beis over there. Well, that's quite a long way back, but we had it just a couple of chapters back. We're just going to bring in a second in the next line in Reish Kaf Daled. Over there we saw that the Inyan was that it's a Helem Atzmi, it's really that the Inyan is there, not in a Lavusha Maili. Although we saw that's really Pnimis Atik, but it's in another Tzir, like we saw when he get to the Golas, the Ava Atzmi, so the Father expresses itself in another Tzir. When he actually says a sharp thing to the son, that's really his Ava Atzmi Mamish. Remember the same thing when he get to the Golas, in the Inif and the Helem is a Helem. Atzmi is once that Helem is niftach, as it were, you just go past that Helem, or you follow that Helem, even that you moirid the Kisui, or then you have the Etcheminian of Pnimius Atik Mamish. Ki im alidei shenase, begins Chokmas Timoa, begins Kisui la Atik, shebeseh Misalem. And when we use the word Misalem, not Misalem Mamish. V'ahelem hu helem atzmi, commission is bully, perek reish kov, dalet. Okay, mizet davke hu b'chinas ahelem shalamata, that's what we saw, the whole Indian of the Golas. Shalideh avida b'ahelem hazeh, boim l'chinas pnimis v'atzmis chokmas ti, through the helem, the avida, with the helem, then we come to the Achmi Chochmas Timor, and we saw that the Aveda with the Hillel was the Indian of Tafki, the devotion to Masik Elikus in its highest form, Alidei, Pnimus HaTorah, and also in this Indian we saw the Indian from Riyah Mukshias, in the Indian of the Nefesh HaBamis, and that leads to a Tosefes in the Nefesh HaLekis. Now remember, the whole Indian of that Hillel becomes Misbatel, and then it's Miskala, the Indian from Riyah Samahus Mamish in the Neshama, and eventually that gives rise to the possibility that the Guf can be mashpia, that Riyah, or even have in into the Neshama, and that's going to be Li Osid. Of a feel Lifnei Li Osid, the Neshama can be Moirid, the Hillel, and she can have the Indian from Riyah Chushias Mamish in Elikus, but Mahus Elikus, even Terem the Isgalas of Liasid, and the Nefesh HaBamis, he can have Riyah Chushias in the Indian from Asogas Amatzias, Adidei, what the Nefesh HaElokis showed him that. But Kunta is that the Etzim Tafkid of the Neshama coming to Mata is to show the Nefesh HaBami. Alidei says the Nefesh HaBami is Misala, and he goes through his whole Aliyah and the Alinyon, and he breaks his whole clipper, and that opens up. Then the Neshama has a Sacha, and then she has the Indian of Riyah Samahus, and that prepares the whole ground for Li Osid. And Mamela Nimtza that the Shvira of that Hillel is the Shvira of your own Nefesh HaBami. That the Shvira of that Hillel is Be'etzim the Shvira of your own Nefesh HaBami, yes. But we saw not in a even Shvira that you just hakim avshtike. We saw Alidei your Nefesh HaLekis gets to work, and she shows it. Even you can have a Shoga Mukshia. You can also be a Achsir Sheyir, and you can see Elikud. Very good. Nefesh HaBamis can be Mamish HaChosid. And then once he sees Elikud, then the whole the whole clipper breaks open, and the Nefesh HaLekis says, oh, I don't have to do that anymore. Oh, and she just sees what she's supposed to see, and then the only thing that can possibly be disturbing, I don't know what it is. We're already holding by that already a long time ago, these in Yonim. Ma Machakim or Ma. But then the last Shabbos they call it a Shabbos Tachtas. And so what happened is a lot of Chachamim Beinayim said, oh, yeah, so mere Pasnish to gain to them Shabbos Tachtas because this is there. And die wollen sein dort, why not Tachtas mit dem Amerikaner nicht? Machen wir eine eigene Tachtas, machen Tachtas in die eigene Backyard, in der Militz ist das bitte. Sehr schwerer Moment. And I had a Yid come to me last week. A Yid, Mamish came especially to see me. To me was sticky Yid, he holds himself as a Mashiach and all thing. And he was sitting at a table of a very choshev person, or a gur choshev. From the gur choshev. His vein in limud, v'nigla, and in pnimis HaTorah, all in Yonim Mamish v'tzad ha'afle. And a lot of people were sitting there, Mamish Christian were sitting around. And this person, turn it off.